I'm always meeting new people and trying to put myself in positions to meet new people. And I think it's just like this curiosity that I have about people and about what they have to share.
It's a collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
And you're constantly having to reignite new energy, new parts of yourselves that is showing up in different areas you've never experienced before.
Yeah. There's a lot to living, is what I'm learning.
Welcome to Reignite with Reet. This is Sam Bergen, a friend and also an entrepreneur, an amazing woman in our community doing great work. She is she owns a social media agency.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have a second business. You have
Yes.
to I'm going to let you take over and kind of introduce, share a little bit about your journey, how things evolved.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go as far back as you want.
Okay.
Whatever feels right to share today, to kind of open up to how you created these businesses.
Yeah. Well, my second business is Bookhouse Hawaii, and then that's a thrifted bookshop, mostly online and some pop-ups, and then a book club as well. And I host like 4 to 5 events a month for the book club. And that dates back to like baby days, just reading all the time, being surrounded by books. My mom read to me a lot, and I grew up reading a lot and just like loving it. In middle school, you have to like read books and then take tests on the books, and I was like obsessed with doing it, and I just wanted to always take tests on books. So it was always in my path to do something book related. And then when I got surrounded by entrepreneurs, actually through real estate, I joined Oak and Pine's community for like women entrepreneurs to just get together and have events and things. And I was now surrounded by all these women that were doing a bunch of big things. And so then I was like, oh, I'm going to do something too. So that's kind of how Bookhouse started. And I was given the opportunity to first open like a physical space in Savon. So one of the like sections, I just kind of had a huge shelving area of all of the books, and I separated them out by genre. I priced every one, and people could come in and shop the books for a while. And then when I parted from my position actually working with Oak and Pine, I'm not sure if you knew that I did that, but I was the program coordinator for Oak and Pine. And so when I parted with that position, I decided to take Bookhouse mobile. And so then we removed that, and that's why it's not there anymore. And then we do it kind of all over the island, although because the agency came about at the end of last year, I've kind of paused the book sales because it was more of a hobby business, and the agency is an income business, so I had to figure out my focus. But the book club, where the community is, I wanted to continue to pour into that, obviously, so I keep that active. But
both things, you can hold space for both.
Yes,
You love them.
yeah.
They're part of you.
Yeah, and I'm thankful that like I have that choice to be able to like keep up with Bookhouse or keep it alive in the ways that I can, and have a really supportive community of like other book people on the island, and then also do what I also love of the video and social media and working with small business owners to promote their business or coach them through marketing and all of that stuff too. So
that's Sam's social agency.
Yes, yeah.
So Sam's social agency, that was birthed after the book club.
Yeah, so Bookhouse launched September of 2023, and the book club launched like in April 2024. So a lot of different like dates of launching different things, but so Bookhouse is coming up on 2 years, whereas the agency I launched last September of 2024.
It hasn't even been a year.
No, yeah, which I guess I'm gonna have 2 anniversaries in September. Now that I think about it. So yeah, Bookhouse is 1 year older than the agency. Yeah.
Wow, that's like an amazing like growth.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Now that I'll give you a little bit more detail. I feel like there's a lot of plot holes. I launched Bookhouse while I was still working as the program coordinator under Oak and Pine, and then when I decided to leave that position, it was to find my own thing, but I didn't know what it was. So there was actually 6 months between me leaving that position and then finding what I wanted, which was the agency. And then I launched it because it came to me, whereas Bookhouse, I feel like I came to it because I wanted it so bad to just have friends that liked books and people to talk to about books. But the agency, I'd been helping people with their Instagram presence for years. I used Instagram to have a business in real estate and to have my like success in that. And then just like here and there, I found bits of like how Instagram was kind of my thing, or like the thing that I love to do, but never considered it to be a business before, until more and more people would just be like, can you help me, or what do you think of this and that. And so then that's how I kind of developed the agency, was through this outside confirmation that it was a needed thing and that people trusted me to like provide for them. So
did you do real estate like in between, or is that
no,
something?
I did real estate 2021, I think, for a year and a half full time. And I joined Oak & Pine as a member, doing real estate full time. I was very unhappy. I only wanted to work with locals, and then also I'm not a competitive person. There was just like all these puzzle pieces of why it did not fit for me, and I have not once regretted leaving. It was like not a fit. I'm a very emotional person, so like all of the emotional conversations that happen when buying a house, I was just like taking in a lot. And I wanted something more fun, and for me, marketing is fun. And so anyway, I actually reached out to Michelle, who's the owner of Oak & Pine, and was like, do you know any of the members, because again, they're all business owners, having any sort of job positions? And she said, I do. Like Michelle, she said that she had one. And so I was like, oh, I'd be so interested. And so we started that, and then I just went with it, left real estate behind, was the program coordinator for a while, then launched Bookhouse, then left that. Yeah, that's the timeline.
But that's how it works, right? When you go ahead, you got to try things out.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you're right on your own journey, right?
Yeah.
Like you had to do something you didn't like to do.
Yeah.
And very much like you, I can relate to that. And I share this often in most of my interviews. I was pursuing real estate. And by failing the exam twice, which was like not devastating at all, I actually loved that I failed. I learned so much about myself and the relief I felt. I've shared a number of times that failing actually was like, thank God. Because I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
It was something that everybody said I would be good at, and I knew I would be good at it.
Yeah.
It didn't bring me joy.
Yeah.
I wanted to help coach people and share journey and stories in many other ways, right?
Yeah.
And that's what kind of led you on your journey. Had you not been a realtor, you wouldn't have done Oak & Pine and the program coordinator and the book club.
Yeah.
And then
the agency.
The agency was birthed.
Yeah.
Which to me, from what I know of it, is just brilliant. You are so professional. You're gifted at content creation, but also managing clients. I had a short stint of wanting to work with you. You did work a little bit in a capacity with me and guided me on navigating the big decisions on what to do next, and even clarifying, was your course a fit for me or not? Because I didn't want to do the social media.
Yeah.
So I realized very quickly it wasn't a fit.
Yeah.
Though I want to learn it, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's people that want to do it.
Yeah.
So let me kind of segue into share a little bit more about Sam's social agency.
Yeah.
How did it start? A little bit more.
Yeah, so what I was saying before, people would ask me questions in the same way that, you ask questions about the directions that you should take, and also just about the offerings I have. But, and so it kind of started as a consultative style agency, and I really love teaching. So kind of as you're saying, I'm still on this journey of figuring out what I want, because right now the agency offers management, meaning I do run the Instagram, or coaching, meaning I coach you through running your own Instagram, which is what I have available now, although might not anymore. But so and there was those two pieces, because people can't run their own Instagram. They just don't want to.
Yeah.
They want to hand it off. It is not for them to be hands-on with. And so that is a much higher level package that sustains my income and also allows me to actively be creative with my work. Whereas the coaching side, I'm able to ideate, but I won't be in the creation process nearly as much as managing. So there's those two sides where I do the management and then I do the coaching. And I really, really love the coaching side. And so I don't know, I just love all of it, and I'm just trying to figure out that balance of being able to expand, because obviously coaching is one-on-one time, And management is a lot still of me, so how to expand without drowning, essentially, and then which side I want to expand and how. So if I want to expand the coaching side, the direction that I see is having a membership style, so I can provide a lot of information, but it doesn't take as much of the one-on-one time, and then offering like one-off one-on-one sessions to people that need that deeper dive. And then the management side is just scaling through hiring other managers, which is right now the direction that I'm taking. So
that makes complete sense. Any, coaching platform that I've been in, it's only sustainable as you being one person.
Yeah.
You can do one-to-one.
Yeah.
Your impact needs to be greater, so you need to go one to the many.
Yeah.
Right? So to go one to the many, it's only natural to have a membership and create a platform. I love that you're thinking of this.
Thank you.
Evolving and adjusting. If you don't need to share if you don't want to, but you are fairly young. And to have this figured out and figuring it out.
Yeah, I was going to say, figure it out.
It's a big response there, but you're figuring it out quite quickly, as opposed to, I think, I've seen generations from my parents and even some in mine. You start a job and that's what you have to work in. And I was grateful enough for a project management teacher who taught me. He's like, going forward, and this was probably 12 years ago, he's like, going forward, look at every job as a project. No longer are you taking on any job that I'm going to work here for 10, 20 years. Those days are gone. Look and be open to each career, whether you work for somebody else or yourself, as a project. It will have an introduction, middle, and a closing. And then you will explore and have a new one.
Yeah.
And that really opened my mind and took a bit of the pressure off.
Yeah, who did you say told you about that?
I took a project management course.
Oh, got it, okay.
Yeah, probably about 12, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I was a project manager, and I was working towards my PMP certification, which I didn't get the certification, but I just got so much from the courses.
Yeah.
And I did project management for a while, and it just helped me because I project management for about 5 years for a company, and then got laid off. And it was living truth. That was a project.
Yeah.
It needed to come to an end.
That was
right? And whether you do it on your own or if they do it for you.
Yeah.
Just the sooner you bounce back from that, the more you'll see the lessons and the gifts in it. Right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Do you have a timeline?
No, not right now. I think I like to try to stabilize first before I hop to the next thing, which is hard for me to do because I want to hop to the next thing. I think a more broad timeline is I definitely would love to have an in-person manager that is on the team by the end of the year and also has been in for, I'm looking for, hopefully in the next few months, I would get somebody onboarded to help me, and then we can take on more clients and more work with current clients and things like that, and start the expansion. And beyond that, I'm just taking it bit by bit.
You have to enjoy the journey.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Because you're also a creative.
Yes, that is something I found out really quickly when I first opened the agency. I booked out in 2 weeks, and I do attribute a lot of that to Stephanie Bowles and Goal Getters, and just the planning around it, and I don't know, it was just life-changing. She also helped me launch Bookhouse. I worked with her on a one-on-one basis for that, and so the systems that I had allowed me to get a lot of work, and then that's when I was able to learn that I only have so much creative energy to give out, and so I had to continue to watch and learn what fit and what I could take on, how much of what things, and what type of clients and what type of content I do better with, which I was I didn't even know that I was limited in that way, and not that I am, but there is a preference that takes less from
not
me.
Not limited. You prefer and you enjoy, and you're...
Yeah.
It's reciprocal.
Yeah.
You can't offer your best work to somebody that you are not really embodying and loving.
Yeah. And the number one thing that I found actually was I prefer for people who they're their brand to not be running their Instagram, because I constantly just want to be them so that I can live their story and then communicate it the way that they would, which is impossible.
Right.
I can't wake up and film me being them doing their everyday things. You know what I mean? So
I see why you said no.
Yes.
I know it's coming
Yeah.
together, and
yeah.
I didn't know that piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You know that about yourself.
Yeah.
And you also know that as a business owner, what's going to be required of a lifestyle personal brand.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And you were an excellent business owner. You directed me and you provided me with 3 to 4 other options of other agencies, which I interviewed, and they were all great in different ways. And I found the fit for me, and I think it's mutual.
Yeah.
And I see why, because you launched my entrepreneurial journey you assisted in launching it.
Yeah.
By me starting having to interview.
Right. And actually create those.
Taking on that process, because it was a big step to be like, okay, here's the shoes and I have to step into it.
Yeah.
And I have to really be intentional on who has my vision. Who's gonna, I was very clear that I didn't want anybody else to be my voice.
Right.
You're not creating my content.
Right.
And I was very clear on that. I want you to, and as I started rolling, I was really encouraged and said, wow, you have way more than when you lead on to. I had my branding done. And it was sitting on a shelf from a few years ago, and it just needed a little tweaking.
Yeah.
And so that's why your guidance was really helpful.
Oh,
and
you.
when you say you love teaching, you're a natural. You're a natural coach and a teacher.
Thank you.
And not just social media, but in engagement. How you've made comments, how you've sparked a little bit of wisdom, right? You're observant, and I think we said it before the camera started, you have an old soul, and I mean that in a complimentary way. That you have wisdom beyond your numerical age. That is felt. For someone, me, I'm like an energy person, so I feel. I'm also emotionally, and empathetically, I have to be aligned. And as much as I wanted to work with you, I felt that. I think we would have, and being an observer now, I see it.
Yeah, I think, and additionally, I did not have the capacity.
Yeah.
So I learned that lesson and decided to set guidelines. And obviously they are more flexible with friends and trying to figure things out in that manner. But I think for taking on something that feels like more, I would need more space, and I just didn't have space. And I feel like it's a disservice to take on projects that you wouldn't have the space for, at that time. So
that is an amazing entrepreneurship, wisdom, because I've worked with, or I've seen, and I've also been in this place where you're a yes person. You become so hungry for more and more, and thinking you're gonna grow, but it limits you.
Yeah.
Right. Especially if you're not ready and you don't have the capacity or the space.
Yeah.
Or the time.
Yeah. My thought is, if you take on a bunch of work and then you're kind of doing a half-butt job at it, that's going to show, and that's going to affect down the line the way that people perceive your business and your work, because all of a sudden you had a great amount of success of taking a bunch of stuff on, but what the output wasn't your highest level of work because you said yes to everything. And so then now your output is not what you want it to be. So that's where I come from. I've heard a lot of people, that's why in the entrepreneurial space, kind of just be like, when you're starting out, don't be picky. You can't be picky with your clients. You can't this and that, especially if you're in a position where you have a low level of income or you really need it. So many thoughts about that, including if you're desperate and money hungry, that's going to be felt. Both on the client side and within you and the way that you communicate. And then just what we said of if you're saying yes to everyone, you're going to do a disservice to your clients and then your future self with the work output that you have for your portfolio. So, yeah. And
I think that is money centric. And I also think it's an old school model. And it's not, I'm not even in a place to say right or wrong.
Right.
To whatever serves you.
Yeah.
If in your own line of work and your own world, I don't operate like that. I'm more service oriented, and that does not equate that I don't value money.
Mm-hmm.
I also know quality.
Yeah.
And I value my time and energy very highly.
Right.
And there's a high value financially on that too.
Yeah.
Because I know the weight it can take.
Yeah.
Right? It takes you away from the people you love, the things you love,
Mm-hmm.
and your own creative juices. They get drained, and
Yeah.
you're expelling, right?
Yeah.
You have to be in a mutual relationship with your clients in any relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Giving and receiving has to
Yeah.
be, it looks, whatever that looks like,
Yeah.
but it has to have a sort of a balance.
Yeah. And then it's just up to you to feel that out.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe you do say yes to everything, and then you find out, which yeses were the right yeses and which ones you would say no to in the future.
Right. Right.
Yeah, just figure it out on your own, however that's meant to be for
Yeah.
you. So, yeah.
And that's the journey of it, figuring it out.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's, a business is not outside of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? If people like make the business and then you, I think you're mutually exclusive. Like, you're a representation of a success. And my thoughts on it, successful businesses embodies the owner. Your value system.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
thread throughout all of that business.
Yeah.
From onboarding to the final closing of the project,
Mm-hmm.
and everything in between.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be a very personal process for sure. Especially with your line of work. It's definitely going to be very,
Yeah.
very heart-centered and yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to always check in with yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
And leave yourself space to do what you need to do for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And have clear boundaries and communicate those.
Yeah.
There's a lot of relationship building and communication involved
Yeah.
in coaching and even holding space for podcasts.
Yeah.
In a short month, I've learned a lot of, okay, if I'm doing 2 in one day, I make sure I have a day the next day to do. There's a lot of admin work. There's a lot of, it may come across like, well, we're just talking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of things that come up through these conversations, and it's energy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm learning and navigating and adjusting and tweaking my schedule, and there's no-go days that my family's been like, I had some on the weekend, and I was like, going forward, I think I'm going to keep my weekends to myself. My daughter's like, yeah, Mom, no working on the weekends.
Yeah.
And as she's very right.
Yeah.
It's not something I value.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I want to pivot back to, you do all of your own social media for your business.
Yeah.
I would think so, but
Yeah.
with the amount of workload you have, how does that take a back seat, or you still have to be a business owner?
It's definitely taken a backseat. Running my own, both the agency and Bookhouse are very quiet these days. And it is because I prioritize my clients first, because they're the ones like trusting me to show up for them through their accounts and everything, or be very present for them in our sessions together. But there's a very specific way that I want to show up, and I, again, don't have the capacity to show up in that way. So I've decided to limit how often I'm showing up on my own pages. Mm-hmm. With Bookhouse, thankfully, I do have a more established community, and also I'm a member of the world, the book world, so I can speak that language really easily and talk to my target audience really easily. Whereas with the agency, I want to talk to everybody, so I'm still figuring out who I should be talking to, if that makes sense. Because I want to talk to people at all levels, people who've never even been on Instagram, to people that are at my degree of being able to edit, post, strategize, all the things, but I can't. It's just not doable for attracting an audience, because if the content is so widespread, then people don't know exactly what they're getting or which pieces of content are going to fit with what they're looking for, if that makes sense. So I definitely need to figure out the niche for the agency, and I slowly have been, but then it also comes with being able to step into that target audience's shoes, because it is people maybe starting out a little bit more, or are on the starter end as opposed to like they have it established end. And so because I'm not in that, then it's like, okay, what questions do they have? What do I want to talk about? What's useful? How do I talk about it? Yeah, there's a lot going on for that. So
Oh yeah, I can only imagine having 2 businesses and, you know, serving clients by, as well as being an entrepreneur. I mean, I can imagine. I'm not imagining. I'm living it.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
I'm starting. I'm in it.
Yeah.
And from this, in a way, like, my guests are my clients. Right? So I want to be of service to them, how I show up for them, making sure they're prepared, how their experience, the space we hold.
Yeah.
This is not meant to be an interview. This is a conversation, a testimony to serving other women, future entrepreneurs, or current entrepreneurs doing this and saying, hey, maybe I want to pivot. Maybe, can give themselves permission to be like, just because you've been doing something doesn't mean you have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
At any age, any time. And I love that. I've met so many women at all spectrum, like from teens, late teens, 20s, 40s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like doing doctorates in their 50s, 60s, doing like massive hikes and physical things in their 70s and 80s. It goes to show that there is no limit.
Yeah.
Right? Only what we create in our own mind.
Yeah. I think Mapu has been like a loud advocate of that for sure.
Yeah, I love that you shouted out Mapu because, she's definitely was an integral part in me getting out of my own head in my own way. And being like, here's this beautiful, amazing, incredible woman having a successful career in one field, totally saying, pivot, I'm going to put that on the shelf and start from scratch.
Yeah.
And I do feel that vulnerability and rawness because it is new and scratch.
Yeah.
But one thing I am going to reframe again is both of us. It's not from scratch.
It's from your lived experience. It's
like
from
every single thing Mapu had done up till that podcast. Everything I've done up until today prepared me for this.
Yeah.
My project management, corporate experience, my sales experience, my relationship building experience. Without giving acknowledgement and love to that and appreciation, we're doing disservice, right?
Yeah.
Like we're saying, we're selling ourselves short. And her business helped give her. She already knew how to run a business.
Yeah.
Right. But there was a new. Like we had to break out of our shells, our comforts.
Yeah.
To rebirth our cocoons.
Yeah. And I think sometimes it's just the natural next step. Like she's like, I want to leave this, or even yourself, like, I want to go from here to here. And it's just the natural next step in your journey. It doesn't have to be like, I'm deleting this and then printing this or whatever, right? It's just the next thing that's happening.
And what I've done since leaving corporate, like, I left and worked in hospitality at restaurants because I wanted to know what that felt like. I'd never been pushed that way. It was actually the opposite, saying you can't work in a restaurant. It's beneath you. Like you gotta that's not a career. And I left a corporate career to go work at a restaurant for like 3 to 4 years, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It's relationship building, serving. Then I did sales, and then COVID hit, became a personal trainer, opened up an own little business in my garage, left, traveled, and like pursuing, kind of going for the real estate. But learning along the way that like pivot. It's like a clock. Yeah. Keep turning until you find a click and you want to stop somewhere at this time and space. I want to do this.
Yeah. Pick the path, keep going down it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be curious and say, oh, this one's starting to fit.
Yeah. Yeah, because even though, like, for example, stepping in the agency, I still have to figure out what my role is in that and what type of work and how often and all that. So there will be pivots and there'll be like sub pivots within the larger pivot, you know? But really it's just like living. It's just that's all that's happening.
It is. And when you have somebody on board soon, I can see it. It's going to be a different role you play.
Yeah.
A leadership, and you're the delegation, it can be challenging.
Yeah, I think that's my like largest barrier.
Letting go.
Is, yeah, and just honestly wanting to be a good leader for whoever is brought on, because I've been gifted with a lot of experiences of leaders that I've had, and figuring out what I definitely do not like, and the way certain things made me feel that I want to make sure it doesn't get replicated when I step into that role. And then vice versa, like things that I really, really liked and that I want to make sure that I carry out in a leadership role. But it's pretty nerve-wracking. I've never managed anyone before. I have a virtual assistant now, but she's so capable. And I'm just like, hey, here's the list. It's very easy. And she's not doing like high level work. She's not doing communications with the clients, which is something that's the delegation part of like making sure that all of the clients are also feeling safe and aligned with whoever I bring on. And yeah, so it is bigger picture. There's a lot of barriers around that I'm just letting myself stabilize, organize, and then feel my way through with the help of other people. But
key to success is receiving help.
Yeah.
Receiving. We want to give as entrepreneurs. We want to give. One thing I've learned is you are not in balance. Balance with the energy of the universe, of your business. It doesn't work. It has to, you can't give everything away for free.
Yeah.
And I don't mean about financially, but you have to be able to receive help. And as a woman itself, not just entrepreneur, and a mother, and it's just a little bit of wisdom I'm learning, and it will continue. It doesn't ever stop. We as women want to just hold it on. We got this.
Yeah.
I got this.
I think somehow I learned really, or at least maybe not learned, but got comfortable with asking for help really early on.
It's
like
amazing.
Yeah, I just always have been like asking people's opinions, asking people's thoughts, taking what worked and leaving what didn't. But yeah, so even before Bookhouse, maybe even before like stepping into real estate, I was always like, what do you think of this? What should I do with this? What are your ideas about this? And I, again, would just take what felt right, test it, tweak it, whatever. But I've always asked for help. I think there was like 4 different people that I called before Mapu's big event when I was going up for the speaker role. It was my first like speaker role in front of an audience. I just called people and I was like, so what do you think of this? Or what do you think of this answer to this question? Or what do you think of, and just getting people's help with, first of all, just helping kind of ease my nerves, but also their take on from what they know about me, like what would feel best for me in this new thing I've never done. So I'm always calling people. I'm like always texting, calling, asking opinions. Goal Getters is like a perfect spot to bounce everything around. But yeah, for hiring someone, I called Brittany because she runs teams and she's hired so many people for Earl, for Treehouse, for Ami May, all the things. So I have the right people to ask for help too, which is super
It's
valuable.
so important to surround yourself with women.
Yeah.
Not just
The
women,
right
like
women.
the women that are gonna uplift and give you, impart the wisdom, not judge you and feel like force you.
Yeah.
And but because ultimately it's your intuition. We can all share our experiences or our thoughts, observations, even little opinions. You have the wisdom inside of you. You already know what's right for Sam.
Yeah.
Right? It's nice to have, that perspective. I never thought that. I never even saw that angle.
Yeah. And it's nice because, like, in the case of asking Brittany about her experience with hiring people and her suggestions, I know that she would not hold it against me if I just didn't take any of her advice.
No.
And she would just be like, oh, tell me about your experience with, like, how's that going for you? And so
It's not
those
personal.
type of people, where it's like, okay, here's what I've learned. Here are my lessons. Do what you're going to do and, like, let me know how that goes, too. So that's been helpful. I'm very lucky to have met so many women like yourself that are just open, giving.
You know what, Sam? You're not
safe.
lucky. You put out that energy. I mean, people believe in luck, and to a degree, but I believe in choices and what we create.
Yeah.
You choose to surround yourself. You choose the clients you want, the environments, and allowing yourself to be growing and open and evolving.
Yeah.
And this is the results, a successful 2 businesses and expansion beyond, you know, what sometimes we think we're ready for, but we're ready.
Yeah.
It just it involves us trusting and stepping in,
Yeah.
and letting go of the steering wheel.
I feel like, so our communities have a lot of overlap now. Yeah. Do you feel like a lot of the women have brought you here now? Because I feel like I met you, this wasn't happening yet, and then like over time you came to Mapu's event, you came to like all of the Goal Getters things, and now you've like launched
definitely
a whole new thing.
Like you, I used to think it was luck. Like Mapu says, I got myself in rooms that made me uncomfortable. Yeah. I knew I wanted to be on Goal Getters. I already knew that before Goal Getters was even started. I had met Stephanie.
Oh, cool.
At a retreat we were both at. And on her podcast, we talked more. We had this really moment where, you know, she fell and I helped her up. And we just had a really great connection, and I knew I would see her in my life somewhere. I didn't know how or what. Yeah. But the timing wasn't aligned when Goal Getters started for me.
Right.
And then I knew, I already put it out there saying, the next opportunity that aligns, I'm signing up. And I almost didn't, because of our minds want to be like, well, you're not an entrepreneur. You don't have an actual business. And I almost got stuck on that. And I said, I am the CEO of my family. If you don't think of that as a business, I don't know what you will.
Yeah.
It's always reminding yourself, how are you doing what you want to do already in your life? Because you are, in some way or shape or form, your biggest dream. Bring it down to reality, into a microcosm. You are already doing that. You've created it, and you've probably done it really well. Now, our minds want to keep us in survival, but it's our job to expand. We're here to that.
Yeah.
So this is where I signed up, and I felt flustered at Goal Getters in the first quarter. And sometimes all we as women we need is just safe space and someone to give us permission to say, hey, why don't you just go explore? Yeah. And that's what Stephanie did, and I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I was chasing an outcome. Yeah. I didn't need to.
Yeah.
Why not draw it to me?
Yeah.
Why not bring it towards me and allow it to, you know, co-create with me, with the universe. Yeah. And and really quickly showing up to the meetings, that's the next step. You have to show up. Yeah. You can sign up for the course, but if you don't ever go to the classes,
you'll get nothing.
And you'll get nothing. And I showed up and with grace, because you can't show up to every event, but I showed up to as many as I could, and I continue to, and arranged my schedule. And then I hired a one-on-one session, and I did a 1-hour consultation with you. I started to get out of my comfort zone and say, I have no idea, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start asking questions. I'm going to start putting myself and say, just making little small steps, and through that, I realized I didn't want to do my own social media. I didn't want the coaching, but I wanted to hire somebody. Yeah. So off you went. Gave me some feedback. Yeah. And it just snowballed.
Yeah. So you're working with Layla. Yeah. Right? And that sparked in me that Layla was taking on clients, which I hadn't known. And so I think it was like a week later, I got lunch with her. And I was like, what's going on with your business? I don't even know anymore. I hadn't spoken to her in so long. And that opened up this whole other door of like us being able to kind of collaborate on ideas and talk to each other. She was so open about sharing her experiences of the same world that we're in. And so just that little piece of like, I didn't even think of her because I hadn't spoken to her in so long. And now I get to have kind of reignite that friendship and that relationship with her, just because of hearing about you working with her. So that's pretty cool.
This is exactly what this podcast is about. It's about reigniting relationships, conversations, spaces, and reigniting your own dreams. And that's it. Like, you also reignited things in me and multiple agencies that I interviewed. There was so much learning and having to sit with it. Yeah. Because in the beginning, I was in a rush to launch, or so I thought. And I started to listen to my intuition and say, I'm not going to make a decision. I'm going to interview one more. Yeah. I'm not going to make a decision because something is still not clear. I'm going to interview one more.
That's really smart.
And I kept sitting on it, and I kept emailing the ones, letting them know, I say, I haven't made a decision. I really am sitting and honoring this, because my being a lifestyle and a brand of myself, it's a certain niche.
Yeah.
And I need to ensure right off the bat that it can be received and then produced and like kind of nurtured in the way that I see it. Birthing.
Yeah.
And immediately, you know, when I did interview with Layla, it was very quickly. I already knew in my gut it was a definite hell yes.
Yeah.
You know, and it that's how natural it is. When you're trusting and you pause and you do the work that's necessary and not try to rush it and force an outcome, and it shows in your work.
Yeah, and for your experience of having to like feeling something off and not hiring right away, I've heard the opposite end where people are like, I need someone to do this. You're the one, do it, right? Or like, I know about this person, or I've heard about this, and then it's just not a right fit.
Nope.
And there are consequences when you are quick to make certain decisions, especially if it's like a delegation thing or outsourcing.
Yeah.
And then
cause and effect. Like if you causing something, there's an effect to it, right?
And that's a part of their journey too, to like figure out. But maybe that's something that they could have avoided and not had to learn the hard way. But
so sometimes we just have to. It's the path to the next journey.
Yeah.
There is no different way we could have done it, because
that was their way.
There's not. It's not. Then you just live in regret too long.
Right.
And I think you just learn to pivot and say, hey, I'm not going to regret this. I see what's the opportunity for the lesson and the gift here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's become very much about reframing everything in life, because the quicker you bounce back, you move forward to the next like treasure box, I call it.
Yeah.
You know, you get to unpack the next adventure and choose your own, next adventure, and that's really, really important.
Yeah.
In business, in all of our lives.
Yeah, in all aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
What helps you? What helps you grow as a first of all, as like a woman, as a human, because that imparts into your businesses. What do you give credit to help with your growth? What do you do?
Gosh. I think meeting new people has been one of the most commonalities over time. Like, I'm constantly, like, I've met you super recently, and now this is happening, right? But I'm always meeting new people and trying to put myself in positions to meet new people. And I think it's just like this curiosity that I have about people and about what they have to share, and that's a part of it. I do want to attribute most, if not all, of my entrepreneurial journey to my boyfriend, and I totally skipped over this, but he was the person that mentioned, or I guess encouraged me to become a realtor, because he was saying the same thing of like, you can totally do it, it'll be great. And when I went through that, he pushed me through the schooling and was like, I'm terrible at self-accountability. So he's been my accountability partner throughout everything, except for when I had Stephanie come on, and I grew that accountability team essentially. And he still to this day is kind of the person that's helping me grow. And I think I also thought of him because that's my personal life too. He's like my life partner. And so we are constantly in communication about how we want to grow. And definitely me, I'm always like, I want to, be this, or this is what I see for myself in the future. And being able to trust his perspective and then like take that in. And yeah, I feel like so much of who I am is because of him. And all of the best parts are like made because of him. And I think like meeting people like Stephanie or yourself or Mapu, none of those pieces wouldn't have happened if he wasn't the first domino in the effect. So,
well, I think you're so generous with your praise, and I don't know your partner, but he sounds amazing, and I have one too. Let's not give all of it away because you were the drivers of your life. You also chose this partner. So let's recognize and give, give yourself this due credit. You were raised and you've navigated your life. You've put yourself through schooling and showed up chose a relationship that you created and attracted. You didn't just date any type of human.
Right.
You chose.
Right.
You chose him.
Yeah.
He chose you. You're mutually, and I can relate to that because I have such a wonderful partner, and it's unknowingly I used to do it. I gave him so much credit. He's the best father. He's the best partner, and a little bit of words of wisdom in like my short 45 years and almost 18 years together. Long game breeds resentment.
Tell me more.
When I was you're giving a lot of your power and your credit away. Then comes, for us, it was careers, then a child, and a mother. Like, whether you're mothering, I think we mother in different ways.
Yeah.
Create a business, mother a child.
Yeah.
You awakens a different part of you. You're birthing somebody new. You've given so much of your credit and power away.
Yeah.
And now, at some point, you start feeling a new version of your birthing, but you're also uncertain. And there's a little bit of emptiness because you've given so much away.
Yeah.
And you never stop to acknowledge yourself.
Yeah. And I think I want to articulate or reframe in the sense of maybe not credit to him, although I do like to feel like giving him credit. Like, it makes me happy to. Yeah. But it's gratitude, like immense, overwhelming gratitude that feels like loud and emotional. Because like obviously, as you would know, like having a life partner, your person is like big and loud and heavy and whole. And so the loudest gratitude I have is for him.
I love that reframe. It's a big difference being like I owe this all to him. That like you don't owe, and we don't owe anybody.
Yeah.
Right? We're not in debt.
Yeah.
Right? But you can clearly be in gratitude and see this whole talk. We've been reframing things.
Yeah.
And it's in real time. Do we realize? Oh wow, I talk a certain way to myself.
Yeah.
My voice, my inner voice likes to give my power away.
Yeah.
And there's enough of it to share, co-create, collaborate, but acknowledge that I am the creator of my life.
I'm kind of like seeing that pattern now because I'm like, oh yeah, all these people are helping me, and I feel like I do they're not kind of place that credit on them of like, oh yeah, they're the reason that this happened in my life and all of that stuff.
An amazing thing happened at a retreat. We did a lot of gratitude. I've practiced gratitude for 25 years, my whole life, of course, but like intentionally every day, every night I write my gratitudes. Until this woman about 3.5 years ago was at a retreat, and she said, now do you do acknowledgements to yourself? Gratitude is like the big key of our life, and to live in that is necessary and very important. Where on that timeline do you acknowledge yourself? And she put into practice that I love to practice. It's like 3 to 5 things every day. It doesn't matter how small or big. Acknowledge yourself of what you did today. To celebrate you, to be proud of you, or something that was scary you faced, and acknowledge you. We are so good at saying, oh, Sam, you are so amazing. You're such an entrepreneur. And my husband, he's an amazing father, and he just gets it. Never did we ever stop to say, I'm an amazing partner too. And it was only through life experience that I realized I was doing all of that. And this is where I had to learn the hard way, where I felt like burnout from giving my power and acknowledging everybody else, and then kind of sitting in a little blame and victimhood. And I had to sit there for a little bit because I didn't know what to do with it. And I think it's when you're giving and receiving. It's a compliment. Receive it. We're so good at like, oh, I love your outfit. And be like, oh yeah, this whole thing. Thank you. Right? It's a very, very important part of the puzzle in business, and because when you are leading, you have to receive feedback. You have to receive praise. You have to receive the celebrations that are, you're right. And it's something as women we tend to kind of shy away from.
Yeah.
We kind of like diminish. And this is what Reignite with Reet is about. I want to celebrate you, and I want to celebrate the women. I want to celebrate you for creating an amazing relationship with your partner on your way there. You know what I mean? It's an ongoing, evolving journey, and it doesn't happen by himself or yourself. It's a collaboration, and you're constantly having to reignite new, like, energy, new parts of yourselves that is showing up in different areas you've never experienced before.
Yeah. There's a lot to living, is what I'm learning.
I love
and
that.
hearing and feeling. There's a lot to it. Yeah.
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 There is a lot to living.
Which is why we need those reminders, even if we know the things.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about earlier with, like, just needing to hear things again. So.
It's repetition,
Yeah.
and we're in the practice of living. There's no destination that no one has ever figured out. Every single day it's a practice of the rituals that keep us checking in with ourselves, the rituals that check in with our clients, our families, our relationships, all of our values.
Yeah.
You know, when I learned when you're not in alignment with your values, you're not living your life in your values. And you're not in alignment, you're living in somebody else's values. And that recipe never works out. You find yourself, you'll find your way back, but what path do you want to take?
Right.
Right? You want to take a people-pleasing, managing other people's expectations, and becoming the yes person and saying no to yourself. Because it's in my coaching, it's the number one exercise. We go values. And the number of, I didn't know. The first time I did it, I was like,
Yeah.
We do top 5 that you live in, and every day all your decisions should be kind of like linked somewhere in those. And how many times the women are like, oh my God, I had this like way on the bottom, or these 2 that are on top are not mine.
Yeah.
And I need to reprioritize, and coming back home to yourself is living in your own values. Our parents give us the set. Sometimes we work with our bosses, and on a lot of people, everybody has their own. And, you know, coming into clarity is...
Yeah, I feel like I need to do that exercise and, like, see my list.
Be my honor. So I love it because it's never one-sided. Because something always shifts a little bit, gets clearer. And I would love to. It'd be my honor. You know what? It's a fun one.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it can go as deep as you want it, but it's part of life. Oh, hashtag real talk.
Yeah. yeah.
But it's all good. This is what it's for. We're here to talk about all things entrepreneurship, and you know, social media is a big part of our life. And to me, I want to come across authentic, real, my voice.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to, in any branding, I don't want to lose my voice.
Yeah.
Right? You can doll me up, change the color, we can rebrand. The best advice recently I got was, do not give your voice away. The power is in your voice.
Yeah.
Right? Even yours. Even all of ours.
Who said that to you?
Recently it was at a real estate event.
Oh, cool.
A speaker who does marketing, and she does a lot of branding, and she's been in it for 25 years.
Wow.
And it's you get the message when you're ready to receive it.
Yeah.
Here I was making all these big events, and I hadn't decided on the social media company yet. What was the deciding factor was, one was saying, no, we do all your copy and your content. We write it for you, and you get the final say. And I was like, red flag. Like, not good or bad, it wasn't the approach for me. And one was, you know, had their own method. And then the one that I went with was like, when I said that I want my own voice, I give you my copy. You can tweak it a little bit and send it for approval. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
It was in the flow.
Yeah.
It's
like the
I cannot.
Goldilocks.
Yeah, I cannot have. I can. People do it. Put all the power in somebody else to run my business.
Yeah.
But if my business is my voice, how can somebody else translate that? How can somebody else's perceptions and thoughts create what is in my head and my heart?
Yeah.
They can't. Coming back to, you know, not giving our power away. And whether you're in your business, delegating, it's a fine line, right? You want to delegate a lot of the workload so that you can create and
I made
evolve.
a list. When I decided that I needed to delegate, because it was just like a lot of things. Owning a business, you got to do everything. So I just wrote out everything that I do, and then I just circled the ones that I liked the most, and then looked at the ones I didn't circle and figured out how I was going to delegate it. So
that's really it.
Yeah.
Like constantly pivoting and being like, okay, this is draining me.
Yeah.
And I'm not really amazingly efficient or love to do it, and I don't want to spend the time because my time is going to be like, I want it over here.
Yeah.
You're really wise for doing that quickly and efficiently, because that's something that takes people a long time to figure out.
Yeah. It's a privilege to be able to like get to be like, I'm going to circle this stuff and then just do that and do the things that I like. That's also something I've been sitting with, of like, I get to do the things that I like, and then I get to also still have my business and delegate out the other things that I don't enjoy as much, but have them get done at a high level still.
And I think your mindset has a lot to do with your output, because everything I'm noticing, you're correct. You are aware quickly, and you also reframe and how you approach it, and you get to do it versus I have to do it. There's a very, very big difference.
Yeah.
Your body language, your mind, and your like everything, physiology changes when you say I get to do it versus like I have to do it. Like it feels heavy.
Yeah. I learned about actually that as like a concept of like neuro-linguistic programming.
Yep.
And the have to / get to. I definitely feel like the get to with my business has been natural. Like, oh, I get to do all these things that I love, has just been like, I just say it. It's not something I had to train myself.
You're living in alignment.
Yeah. And then the like other things, you can make that more conscious switch of like, oh, I have to do that. No, I get to. I get to go to the DMV and do this, and I get to whatever.
That means you get to drive.
Yeah, that's true.
If you can't keep your license, then you don't get to drive.
Yeah.
If you can't take responsibility for these privileges that we have, like that's living in gratitude, right?
Yeah.
Like I get to means I'm so grateful.
Yeah. I will say that the speed at which I've been going after things is also in correlation to my desire to be a mom, because I want to grow and stabilize at a rate that allows me to become a mom sooner with a steadier foundation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Perfectly.
So I really want to be a mom very badly. And so, but I see what like the style or the lifestyle that I would also want as a mom. And so if I get to create that, that's such a huge driver of, I get to, have my own business, and a lot of it I can work from home and be at home. I also get to have a partner that can support us, support a family, and we all get to kind of be a part of that. But my timeline in terms of like maybe doing it younger or starting younger with pushing forward on things, a lot of it is motivated by wanting to have really strong family time in my future. So the push is now, and then that's going to be like...
It's the biggest value. You're showing your value right there. Having a family is like, connection, relationship, and it's a high value to you.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt in anything that you will create it.
Yeah.
As long as you keep yourself aligned.
You're right.
And keep in mind that your mind-body connection is real. So keep your body like as your temple. Right?
Yeah.
Manage the stress, manage all of the things necessary.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it.
Thank you. Actually, I feel like with hearing you say some of those words, I feel like I manifested a yoga studio client, because now I get to like go to the classes and relax and reset and restore my body while also being in work. So
it's preparing your temple.
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to house a baby and grow one, you got to, at the same time as like your business is essentially a baby too, like, so at the same time, like you got opportunities. You are given these because you're creating them. For the audience, for the team here, if you can give them some books that have really been pivotal. I know you already had yours. So
I was like, I needed to prepare. Let me take a look. Okay, so I wrote 3 books for business-centric books. Obviously, like fiction is a whole other world of books.
Yeah.
But the number 1 book that I'm recommending right now is Building a Story Brand 2.0 by Donald Miller. I recommend everyone to read it. I want to reread it like every month if even possible, and then just go through the exercises. I highly recommend it, especially for yourself, for everybody. I have this need to tell people about it. Building a Story Brand 2.0 by Donald Miller. So good. Then the next one that I read kind of a while ago and I need to do a reread is called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Have you heard of it?
The name sounds familiar, but like Gerber.
Yeah, I don't know the author actually, or the credibility behind it, but it's been a book, or like it's been published for a good amount of time, and E stands for entrepreneurial is my remembering of that. And I think it really ties into this other book called Traction that Stephanie references a lot, and so there's a lot of overlapping there. Traction is a lot more tactical, and yeah, it's kind of like a workbook, guidebook style is the way that I took it in, whereas E-Myth is kind of bigger picture and maybe more mindset, more structures and systems. And again, yeah, Traction is like a lot more focused in on a specific thing. So E-Myth I'd recommend. And then the last one is $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy, which is a sales book.
My husband loved that book.
Oh, awesome.
He has it, yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing the audiobook, but I just bought the book because I want to go back in and like annotate it and everything. But yeah, sales is just a part of having a business unless you have tons of money and you can delegate that out right at the beginning. But from the moment you decide you have a business, you're in sales and marketing. So building a story brand is marketing and the sales, and then $100 Million Offer by Alex Hormozy, also very, very sales. I was following his YouTube for a while, and he's focused on like a different niche, and he does also target teaching around that niche, but his information is so widely applicable.
The message can be applied to everything.
Yeah, and he's really great at articulating it. For me, I really like this cut too of like, okay, just give me what I need. And so he's very good at explaining things in that way, in the exact way that I take things in. So those
I think
are my
similar
three.
to my husband, it was good for him too. And
Yeah.
I would get like dripped down feeds, and I'm like, okay, got it.
Yeah, and I think with his book, Alex Hormozy's book, if you just have it, you'd be able to go in and just highlight stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to read every single word, because he kind of is able to condense it down into something for you to just go through, take away, and use as well. Actionable stuff is my favorite.
Even if you watch his short video, you get something.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I decided to like get the book and do all the stuff, because I was like, one video, I learned so much. What could I learn from this thing that he spent so long on, doing, crafting, and then providing? So
amazing.
Those are the three that I recommend.
And where can everybody find you if they want to connect, want to maybe sign up for your coaching program, and in the future get on a waiting list to work with you?
Yeah. With all the different offers coming out, I have samsocialagency.com, so samssocialagency.com. On Instagram, it's samssocial.agency, so samssocial.agency. And then for Bookhouse, it's bookhousehawaii.com or Bookhouse High on Instagram. And and then my emails are trickled in on the websites and all the things.
We're going to put all of it in the show notes and, summarize all of it so you can definitely find Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you for having me. This was so nice.
It was. It was a natural, it always is.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you and appreciate you coming and making the time for Reignite with Reet.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.